Steps for elimination. You may want to come back to this list once you've gone through some problems and review it. But a quick look here is we first want to align all of the like terms and the equal sign. Does a variable cancel if I add the equations together? What that means is we're looking for opposites. And that would be something like negative 2x and 2x lined up, because if I add those together, I get 0. If I don't already have opposites, I want to multiply one or both of my equations by a number that will make an opposite. Then I can add my equations together and solve for the one unknown that's left over. And once I get that answer, I'm going to plug it back into one of the equations, one of the original equations, to find the second variable, and I'll have my point of intersection. So to solve this system, our first step was to look to see if our variables and our equals were lined up, and you can see that they're lined up here. Now we want to see if we have opposites. And we do. The y's are opposite of each other. Now we would add our equations together. But why can we do that? You'll notice that I put our second equation in the balance to kind of represent this side, 6x plus 7y, is equivalent to negative 15. So I can take into any equation, to my top equation, I can add 6x, I could add 7y, I can add both of those things. But I would need to do that to the other side. But adding 6x plus 7y to 25 is not helpful. But I know that negative 15 is equivalent to this. So I can, instead of adding 6x plus 7y, I can just add negative 15 because that is equivalent. So in essence, we can just add the left side of the equation together and the right side of the equation together. And because they're equal, I haven't changed the value of our system. So in adding our equations together, my x's become 10x. But my negative 7y and my plus 7y cancel, and 25 minus 15 is 10. Now I can divide both sides by 10, and I'm left with x is equal to 1. I have to then take this value and plug it into either one of my two equations. I'm choosing the top equation. So I have 4, instead of x, I'm putting 1, minus 7y equals 25. And we just simplify 4 times 1 is just 4. And we can subtract 4 from both sides. We're left with 7y equals 21. And we can divide both sides by negative 7 to give us y is equal to 3. Now we have our point of intersection, our x and our y, of 1, negative 3. So in this system of equations, I don't have opposites. I have a 9y and a 9y, but they're both negative. So I want to go through and either think of subtracting, or what I like to think of is multiplying through by a negative. So I just switch all of my signs, and now I have opposites. So 9x minus 4y is 5x. Our y's cancel out, and I'm left with negative 20 right here. Then I can divide both sides by 5, leaving us with x equals negative 4. I can then use that to plug into either one of my equations. I'm going to use it in my top equation, so negative 4 gets put in for x right here. So write that down, and then simplify. Y by itself by adding 36 to both sides, leaving me with negative 9y equals positive 9, and I'm going to divide both sides by negative 9. And that leaves me with y is equal to negative 1, and this is my solution. In this system of equations, we're looking for opposites, and I see opposites right away with x, but also with y and with our constants. So everything cancels out, leaving us 0 equals 0. This is always true. If something is always true, that means we have infinitely many solutions, just like when we graph it and have overlapping lines. If we were to graph these two equations, they would be the same exact line. So we would write infinitely many solutions for this system. Now, if we get something that is not true, so if we got something that was, say, 0 is equal to 5 or -4 equals 6, things that are not true, that would mean that we have no solution. So if you get something that isn't true, there is no solution. So if it's always true, it's infinitely many solutions. If it isn't true, then it is no solution.